Hey YouTube and caymanas back. Turf fights. Sorry for the late start. Rough 2 race day program. Okay, let's get going with the first race. It's 3 years and up, optional claimer 550, and 5 years and up, non-winners of 411 starters, 4 furlongs straight, and not going to waste any time. I just boiled it down to 4. The 7, Restoration, the 8, Adenosine, the 10, Phoenix Risen, and the 11, Big Guy in the Sky. All right, Restoration hasn't been out since June, only 2 starts. Was second in his debut and then won next start out over the 4 furlongs straight, beating Speedball Trust Fund Baby. Looks to have his problems, but is at the track cantering, nothing too flashy. But you got to put Restoration in here, coming from the stables of Anthony Nunes. Definitely Restoration is in here with a shot. The 8, Adenosine, ultra speedy horse, possibly the fittest horse in the race. And even though running at 5-year-old, non-winners of 4, beaten and last by 4-5, that wasn't a track record, although it's a new distance. Definitely squeezing Adenosine in the mix. The 10, another speedy horse, that's Phoenix Risen, just beaten and last by Unruly Boss over the 5 straight, 750,000 claimer, so he's stepping down in class here. So definitely Phoenix Risen is in here with a shot, maximum shot, with Paul Francis in the saddle. And the 11, Big Guy in the Sky, hasn't been out since January. Last 2 runs where he can throw away. Before that, he won a 6 furlong race, beating Smart, Strike Smart, and don't remember that horse running something. But coming off the break, busy at exercise, I'm throwing him here as a long shot horse to watch. So those are my 4. 7 Restoration, 8 Adenosine, 10 Phoenix Risen, 11 Big Guy in the Sky. Phoenix Risen down in class. Possibly the horse you're going to have to beat. Adenosine super fit, but as speed might cause some trouble for Phoenix Risen early. But watch Restoration, we don't know how good this horse is coming off the rest. So those are my 4. Race 2. This is 3-year-olds and up, optional claimer 250, 6-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3, 5-year-olds and up, 5-year-olds non-winner of 2, 7 starters, 7 furlongs. 4 horses in here. I think the race might come down between the 2, 6th Avenue, the 4, Sunshine Cat, the 5, Slam Solano, and the 7, Kingswood. 6th Avenue showed a lot of speed and last, turned for home clear, but then petered out in the stretch when beaten by Millennium Star over 7 furlongs. Comes back, still I think in good steed. They have put on the tongue tie now. T. Foster replaces Bailey. 6th Avenue, I think he's going to try to do the same thing, try to get to that lead and try to see what he can do. The 4, Sunshine Cat, 3rd and last to Prince Dominic, closing from off the pace, but did really get a pace to run at. I think he might get a pace to run at today. So the Sunshine Cat, definitely once the pace sets up nice, I think Sunshine Cat is the horse that's going to be finishing the best. The 5, Slam Solano, running honest races, but not getting anywhere near the finish. Is stretched out here, which I think he's going to enjoy. And they get Haladine in the saddle now, so if the pace sets up nicely, even with top weight, if they collapse up front, I think Slam Solano will run his best race in a long time. The 7, Kingswood, runs a good race when he's very fit. Gets Shane Richardson up, claims 2. Shouldn't have a problem with the distance. Definitely going to be the horse that's going to cause most of the problems for 6th Avenue. And if they do hook up in a speed battle, that's where I think Sunshine Cat might turn up on top and watch Slam Solano finishing very strong in deep stretch. So those are my 4. The 2, 6th Avenue, the 4, Sunshine Cat, the 5, Slam Solano, and the 7, Kingswood. I think Sunshine Cat is going to get the race he wants, so I kind of putting him on top. And I'd probably key him over the other two for exactas and trifectas. The third, this is for native bred 5-year-olds and up. Now we have 2 and imported 5-year-olds and up maidens, 7 starters, 5.5 furlongs. One of these races that you don't want to leave, but I'm going to boil it down to 3. The 1, Pip. The 4, Excuse Me Goodbye, and the 5, Dancing with the Cat. Okay, Pip, disappointing start. This horse was highly thought of early. Hasn't shown anything. Best run was the last time out when second by a length and a quarter to Sensational Satin. Sensational Satin turned up yesterday and won at 12-1. So that speaks volumes here for the chances of Pip. Although going around the bend, the last time he was around the bend was last year, May, when it was 70 Tigray Express. Comes here, gets Philip Parchment once again. So definitely Pip is in here with a sound shot once he negotiates the bends. The 4, Excuse Me Goodbye, recent winner, came back to be second, demolished by Noble Impulse, but can handle the bends, and definitely I think Excuse Me Goodbye should run another good race. And the 5, Dancing with the Cat, coming from Claiming Company, coming back here in with a shot. He's going around the bends all the while, so I think his legs should hold out. Coming in light, 112 pounds. Samantha Fletcher claims 2. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there with those 3. The 1, Pip. The 4, Excuse Me Goodbye. And the 5, Dancing with a Cat. The 4th race, native bred 3-year-old maiden, fillies, 7 starters, 5.5 furlongs. I boil it down to 3 horses. The 2, Princess Catalea. The 3, Chinita Estrella. And the 7, Roman Princess. Okay, Princess Catalea. Good run and last over the 5 straight, beaten by La Vida, coming from off the pace. Roman secures the ride once again for Patrick Lynch. Coming in this race very fit, so I'm definitely have to squeeze Princess Catalea in this. The 3, Chinita Estrella, just taken out in the glass and last over the straight course by Happy Force. So that speaks volumes for his chances here. Super fit, and definitely the horse you're going to have to beat with T. Foster once again in the saddle. And the 7 horse, Roman Princess, although beaten 13 lengths and last, did show good running early in that She's Dallas Love race. So I'm squeezing him in here from a trifecta, this Roman Princess. So those are my 3 in that race. 2, Princess Catalea, 3, Chinita Estrella, 7, Roman Princess. But I think Chinita Estrella is definitely the horse they're all going to have to beat. The 5th race, for native bred 3-year-old maiden, 8 starters, 6.5 furlongs. I'm going to round this off to 4 horses here. The 2, Galloping Develos. The 4, The Bay Machine. The 5, Kensia. And the 8, Legend of Zorro. Okay, Galloping Develos. Only 2 starts. Debut on April 27th, was 6. Came back in November, so it was off a break. Didn't show much in that race. Probably needed that run. Now gets Lasix for the first time. Olin Mullin gets back the ride. So I'm expecting a better run here from Galloping Develos. The 4, The Bay Machine. Still not running up to what I would think he should be running up to. But this is possibly a race that might suit his liking. He's going to have some speed in front of him, which I think he's going to want. Christopher Mamdi now secures this ride on this The Bay Machine. A recent video of mine I showed where he was badly hindered in the race. Has run twice since that. But I think we're going to see a much better outing here from this The Bay Machine. The 5, the horse I think they're all going to have to catch and beat. Kensia from the stable of Stephen Todd for Back Brothers. Samantha Fletcher secures the ride. Claims 2 off of 115. Those last 3 runs are going to kind of toss them out. I'm kind of looking at the run from June when she was second to Justin Big Time. Another run like that will definitely see Kensia trying to steal away from these here. So Kensia, I think, is the horse they're going to have to beat. The 8, Legend of Zaro. 3 in Clinker, a 2 to 5 favorite and last one. Got the lead quite easily going a mile, but just looked like he didn't stay it out. 6.5 furlong should be more comfortable here. And I think if they decide to rate him up instead of trying to rush the lead, I think you're going to get a much better Legend of Zara with Tevin Foster in the saddle. But it all depends on how they decide to run it. If they try to go early with the pace, it might set up for horses closing. But if they decide to wait, he might run a better race. But are they going to allow Kensia to get to that lead and get away? So that's the big question. So yeah, I'm going to round it off with those 4. The 2, Galloping Develos. 4, The Bay Machine. 5, Kensia. 8, Legends of Zaro. Kensia gets an easy lead, she might win. If Legends of Zaro gets a good position, he might win. But if they go too fast, I would not be surprised if The Bay Machine comes with a very big run. The 6th race. Native bred 4 years and up, non-runs of 3, and imported 4 years and up, non-runs of 2. 12 starters, 7 furlongs. This is a very, very interesting contest. I brought it down to 4. The 1, Sweet Victory. The 3, She's My Hedge Fund. The 7, Empress Links. And the 12, Right, Always Right. Okay, Sweet Victory. Put in a very big run on last, but got the sloppy conditions and a lone speed uncaptured Empress. So he didn't really get the pace he wanted, so he had to go real early in the race, which is not something Sweet Victory likes to do. Sweet Victory likes to sit off the fraction and then come a call in late. Kind of went early because of the conditions, but still ran very well. So I'm definitely putting Sweet Victory in here with maximum chance here with Omar Walker in the saddle. The 3, She's My Hedge Fund. Was stealing home and last when caught by James at 7 furlongs. Victor Sanchez remains in the saddle for Jason DaCosta. And if allowed to get to that lead and be comfortable, definitely going to prove a very tough nut to crack. The 7, Empress Links, was in that same race with She's My Hedge Fund. Was 3rd in that race, was also chasing She's My Hedge Fund and still couldn't get anywhere close. This time around, if they get a good pace and the rider settles this Empress Links, I'm expecting a better effort from that one with Philip Parchment now in the saddle. Busy at exercise. That's one to note. And the 12, that's Always Right. Now, this is an interesting horse. He was in that race with She's My Hedge Fund and Empress Links. I would say him threw a clinker in that race because the race before that at a mile against Burning Valor made the lead and was just caught inside the last furlong and had Mr. Senator behind in that race. Mr. Senator has left this class. Jerome Ennis gets the ride here for Michael Marlowe. Busy at exercise. I like his last work coming to this race at 36.2. So I think that work shows me that Always Right. They're going to try to probably get the lead or stick right with the leader. So I'm thinking of a setup pace here with She's My Hedge Fund and Always Right. That's how I'm reading it. And if that happens, I'm leaning towards Sweet Victory to catch them. So if I was going to bet this race, I would take a chance and put a money on Sweet Victory at a good price. But as I said, it just depends on how the race unfolds. So those are my 4. The 1, Sweet Victory, if he gets a strong pace in front of him to catch them. The 3, She's My Hedge Fund. If she gets the lead and no one decides to go with her, well, that will be it. The 7, Empress Links, would like to start the pace and come with a run. And the 12, Always Right, who I think is tuned for this race. And I think you're probably going to see Always Right going for that lead. So it's interesting to see what happens. But those are my 4. The 7th race. The Flossie McNeil Memorial Cup. Native bred 3 years and up. Non-runs of 2. Fillies and mares. 6 starters. 6 furlongs. And I think this race says Francis. I think Francis wins this race. Francis wins. And if I'd buy an exact, I'd probably put Adira. So I'm not going to waste any time in this race. A firm horse for me here. I think the 5, Francis, gets the job done over Adira. The 8th race, the race everyone is coming to watch. 3 years and up, overnight allowance. The Al Safra. 10 starters, 7.5 furlongs. and the long-awaited run of Barnaby. Okay, let's get into it. So I boiled it down to 4. They're going to be the 4 Barnaby, 5 the 5 Mr. Senator, the 3 Money Monster, and the 9 Provocativa. All right. First up, let's look on this Barnaby. I think Barnaby has 3 wins in the US. Broke his maiden, got it in the steward room. His debut, I think. His next 2 wins were at Churchill Downs. His last win was at a 20,000 claimer. I don't remember the distance. I think it was a mile and 70. Then they stepped him up to a 40,000 claimer. I think he was 3rd. He was claimed out of that race by Safi Joseph. Has been setting the track alight, so I think he has climatized well to Caymanas Park. He's been working brilliantly. And coming from Churchill Downs, coming to Caymanas Park, that's a good. He's well bred. He's out of Tapiture, out of Giant Diva, out of Giant's Causeway. Giant's Causeway is a very good stallion of broodmares. So Barnaby's coming here with some credentials. So let's see how he performs on the Jamaican surface against horses in a race down here. The 3 Money Monster. What can I say about Money Monster? Is he this unlucky? He welcomed the first impressive looking foreigner here and was beaten by 11 lengths by Pack Place, which was a very good run by Money Monster. Noting that Pack Place ran 117, and any other day without Pack Place in that race, Money Monster would probably beat anybody because he ran 119.4 and gets a 3 claim from Richard Henry at 120 for Fitzroy Gillespie. So if something goes amiss with this Barnaby, I would look no further than Money Monster. The 5 Mr. Senator, stablemate of Barnaby, at a big price, stepping up in class here, 3 in a clink and last. Working well coming to the race. I watched a recent workout with him. He was kind of roaring. He sounded like he was roaring. I don't know if he was just breathing hard. So if he's starting to roar now, that might be a problem with his throat, his trachea. But hopefully that's not the problem because he has worked well since. I give my outsider shot to make the exotic bets and Provocativa to make sure that they run honest, because I'm pretty sure he and Legit Boss, easy peasy, those horses are going to flash some speed, California Gold. So I'm pretty sure a warm pace is going to be set, a warm welcome for Barnaby here. So if all is said about Barnaby, he should dismantle this field with minimal fuss. But we know that's not how racing goes all the while. So if something does upset Barnaby, I'd look no further than Money Monster. So those are my 4 in the race. The 3 Money Monster, the 4 Barnaby, the 5 Mr. Senator, and the 9 Provocativa. The 9th and final. Native bred 4 years and up, non-reserve 4, and imported 4 years and up, non-reserve 3. 10 starters, 5.5 furlongs is the distance. And this is going to be a speed fest. Okay, I've boiled it down to 4. The 1, Noble Attitude. The 3, Lion Charmer. The 5, Exotic Light. And the 10, Acknowledge Me. Okay, Noble Attitude. 3 in a clink and last over the 5 straight course. Doesn't seem to like the straight course. You know, 2 starts in his last 10 over the straight course, and he didn't show up in those races. Coming back around the bend where he's more comfortable. At 6 furlongs, he was second to Cookie Day and Night, and in that race, he missed a beat at the start and had to run on, and did run on pretty well to run second to Cookie Day and Night. Had Lady Abimala behind in that race. So another good run is expected here if he comes out of those starting gates fast. The 3, Lion Charm. I've been watching Lion Charm now for a while. Coming out of some unlucky race. This is a horse that is a one-move horse. He sits behind the field and waits for the pace to collapse. Recently, he was in a race with a horse went down and he had to jump over the horse. His last run, though, showed me that I think he's primed for a run now. He was only 7 lengths fifth to Legit Boss and Acknowledge Me. Strud 6 furlongs in 125 by 3:40 seconds, which I think is a very decent workout for Patrick Lynch horse. Shane Richardson here claims 2 off of 116, so he's light. And with the speed I'm expecting the best run from Lion Charmer in a long time. The 5, Exotic Light, I recently tipped this horse and he won at 46 to 1. This is his first start back since, and that was at this distance. And it was a comfortable winner coming from off the pace after being slightly slowed into stride and still finished really strong. So with the fast pace expected, I'm expecting another good run from Exotic Lights to make up those exotic bets. And the horse I think they all going to have to beat is Acknowledge Me, but he's going to have a lot of company on the front end. You're going to have Sugar Sugar. You're going to have She's a Mirage, possibly Fly Blue Jet, and definitely Benson. They're all going to be gunning for that lead. Acknowledge Me draws 10, so he's going to have to come out real fast and get around them to don't get too caught wide into that half-mile turn. But he doesn't necessarily have to be a front-running horse. As you remember back in when it was January, going 5.5 furlongs, he came from off the pace and only lost to a head to Milos, having Money Market behind him in that event. And I think he had his problems, but they've sorted it out, I think. So I don't think going around the bends is going to be a problem. I just think that Roman is going to have to get him out of the gates really sharp, get him close enough to them with whether in second or third position going into that half-mile turn. And I think Acknowledge Me should prevail in this race because I think he might have a little bit of class. Yeah, so I'm going to boil it down. That's where I'm going to boil it down. 1, Noble Attitude. The 3, Lion Charmer. The 5, Exotic Light. But I think I'm going to give the edge to Acknowledge Me, and I'd probably wager him. And I'm probably going to put him on top of the 2 long shots I pick, Lion Charmer and Exotic Light, in case the other speedsters decide to retreat. I think those are the horses who will be coming home the fastest. So yeah, Acknowledge Me a firm choice for me. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a lot of luck. And as always, be safe.